The African Transformation Movement founder has also gifted the party's president and secretary with a Mercedes Benz and a 4x4 at their election campaign launch. The head of the 12 Apostles Church in Christ, Caesar Nongqunga, says he doesn't regret entering politics 5 years ago and is content leading the party from behind the scenes. He addressed the party's launch earlier, and Newzroom Afrika reporter Govan Whittles is there and joins us now. Govan, what has been said regarding the ATM's approach to these crucial elections coming up in 2024?
Well, what's clear is that the ATM intends to reach out to some of the political parties that it considers allies as it goes towards the 2024 elections. This campaign launch by the ATM was interesting for a number of reasons. Firstly, because of some of the comments given to Newzroom Afrika by the founder of the ATM, the head of the 12 Apostles Church in Christ, Caesar Nongqunga. And in it, he explains that he believes he made the right choice, the church made the right choice to establish the ATM, that he's happy leading from behind the scenes, that he believes the ATM will perform much better in the 2024 elections, and that Vuyo Zungula is the right person to lead it towards those elections. And he says he gifted him a Mercedes Benz and the Secretary General a 4x4 just because it was his duty as the spiritual father to look after his children. And that is what he has been doing here. This event is an ATM election campaign launch, but it's also an annual gathering for the TACC. And this year it's including the campaign launch because of the elections next year. But it underscores how the TACC and the church remains an integral part of the ATM. Let's bring in the National Chairperson of the party, Ms. Mandisa Mashia. Thank you so much for your time, Ms. Mashia. So there were thousands of people here, not as many as you thought may have been here, but it is your first campaign launch ahead of an election at this scale. How do you think it went?
It went very well. We're very much appreciative of the people that have come in their numbers, as you say, that it was our first national launch preparing for 2024 elections. The people that are here are actually less than the people that would have loved to come here. But as an organization that prides itself in being self-funded, in being funded by the very individuals that are here in this stadium, these people have come all the way from Joburg, Gauteng, they've come all the way from Mpumalanga, using their own funds, using their own transport, accommodating themselves, not being assisted by the organization. They've sacrificed everything for their own organization because we are in the process of building, and we want to ensure that come 2024, we're doing better than we have done in the last 2 elections. So we are very happy this was a success.
We'll get back to the organization and its structures, but the president has called for unity among the political parties in South Africa ahead of the election. How would you summarize the election campaign points of the ATM?
Look, the issue of uniting the political parties in preparation for 2024, it's something that our NEC is actually working at. We've already got Utatu Koti with his own political party, that we've got a formalized alliance. They are our alliance. We are currently working and talking to other political parties. Those have not been formalized yet, and the SG of the organization and the president are currently handling those. So it's something that they will be dealing with moving forward. From my side, the most important thing is our structures, is building our structures. Today we were giving marching orders to go to our communities. We are using our strategy that we call 10 by 10 to ensure that by the time we go to the manifesto launch, by the time we go to the policy conference at the end of the year, all the branches that we have prioritized that they will be launched, they will be launched. My concentration as the national chairperson is to ensure that those are functional. During the last 5 years, we were new. We did not structure our organization. We only were supported by people who believed in our values, who believed in our organization. Now we are putting formal building blocks in terms of formal branches. And that is what I'm currently overseeing as a national chairperson.
So are these new structures an extension of the TACC Church?
No. if we're talking branches, we're not talking TACC. If you talk branches, you're talking people in the communities. That is where the president is saying we must go to. Most of the other people that are here, which will not be here tomorrow, are people that do not belong to TACC. They belong to their own different churches. And tomorrow they will be going to their churches, and TACC will be alone here.
But the head of the ATMs, the spiritual head of the ATM, is the head of the TACC church. So in that respect, to which degree does the church have influence over the party?
The church, as a church, does not necessarily have more influence because we've got a council of elders. If someone was listening to me when I was introducing him and the council of elders is formed by different leaders that come from other religious and faith formations, such that though he is the TACC head, he does not only by himself influence everything. The Council of Elders are people that are actually taking decisions on behalf of the organization. So they come from different faiths. The South African Council of Messianic Churches has got now over 38 different churches. That from those 38 churches, we form the Council of Elders. Those are the people that take decisions.
Thank you. Then just on a point of clarity, the Mercedes Benz and the 4x4 that were gifted to the president in the SG, was that from the ATM or was that from the church?
That was from the ATM and the church. Remember, as I say, that we are a self-funding organization. So the bigger part of the funding that we get it from our founding organization, which is the church. Then other funds are coming from us. The majority of our employees, which is the councillors and the people that are working, they are paying their levies. And all of us are having a monthly contribution that we voluntarily do. So from time to time, the two organizations, which is the founding organization, TACC and ATM, would fund most of these expenses.
Ms. Mashia, then you're saying people came here on their own accord, on their own budget, and then they've seen you gift the president and the SG with 2 luxury cars. You're not concerned that they would receive that in the wrong way?
No, it's actually their money. It's their views. Whenever we make those decisions, we don't. For example, if we are to make an expense from the church, there are 3 structures at different levels that take that decision, including the representatives of all these people. So when you see those gifts, they are not coming from an NEC. They are not only coming from the Apostle Board. They are coming from what we call is an Apostle Board. Maybe, let me say as an idea, they go to a joint executive committee. I'm talking only about the church. I'm not even talking about the ATM. The joint executive of the church is formed by different structures of the church up to the lowest level of the people. So when those expenses are done, they are done out of their own offering what they want to see happening.
Let's go back to the structures. You had said that you plan to build them ahead of the elections. In the last national elections, you managed about 80,000 votes. That's 2 seats in parliament. This time, what kind of base exists for the ATM? And what kind of projections do you have?
Okay, I will not get into the projections, but I'll show you something. As you are saying, about 80-something thousand people voted for us when we did not even have structure. Those people were just voting us because they believed in us. Now we are working with structures. Each and every voting station, each and every ward currently have got seat planters. We are working at building branches of the ATM, people that are not just supporting us, people that are members. Those will be the foot soldiers that will be multiplying themselves ahead of the elections.
Thank you so much, Ms. Mandisa Mashia. She's the national chairperson of the ATM. Well, they're headed off into communities with those branches to implement some of the points from the election campaign that was formally launched here at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium by the president of the ATM, Vuyo Zungula, as well as the NEC, of course, under the watchful eye of the head of the TACC Church, Caesar Musa. And what we do know a little bit later is that this event will continue because there are representatives from different churches affiliated to the South African Council of Messianic Churches across the continent who are essentially bringing their choirs up to greet the spiritual leader of the ATM, the head of the TACC. And we'll leave you with these visuals of some of the gatherings that are happening here at the South African, or at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. You'll see there that there is essentially a line of choirs who are waiting for their turn to go speak to the TACC leader, who says that he doesn't take serious any assertions that the formation of the party may have been inspired or influenced by former President Jacob Zuma or the former Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Magashule. We'll bring you some of that commentary by the TACC leader a little bit later as we continue our reporting. But for now, stay tuned to Newzroom Afrika as we bring you news and insights and all the latest developments of the day. We'll take a short break, but we'll be back after this.